Hey, welcome to this video. This is my second time trying to make this video, and I've decided to write a little bit of a script / notes on this because I don't want to come off as rambling or get my crap mixed up. So, here we go. Take 2. So, the other day I was talking with a friend and they said something along the lines of people of color who mainly have white friends are the type of people to laugh at racist jokes instead of speak out against it, or they're the type of people to let it slip by. And when they said this, I found myself explaining myself, overly trying to explain myself because I felt guilty. I felt a little guilty, and I kept thinking about it because I felt guilty. And I was thinking back on the times where my white friends have said something forthrightly racist, and I didn't do or say anything about it. And unfortunately, there have been more than a few times that this has happened. I didn't say anything because, one, I was in shock, and I was uncomfortable that they were comfortable to say something like that in front of me. And two, I didn't really want to have to deal with the conflict for whatever reason, if I was going to be there with them for a long amount of time, or that I just didn't I didn't have the energy to try to educate them. And these are the reasons that I didn't speak out. I'm not saying that they're good reasons whatsoever. I'm just giving you the reasons that I didn't say anything. And I know that I should have said something, and I regret not saying something. And if you didn't know, I grew up in these suburbs populated by mainly white people, and I feel like the majority of my friends growing up, and maybe even now, I haven't had a head count, I don't have a roster list of saying who are my white friends and not, but the majority of my friends growing up, and maybe even now, are white. And I am making more friends of color, which is nice because there are certain things that I don't have to explain, and I can openly talk about something without wondering if I'll be criticized for that. So obviously, growing up in white American culture has shaped my interests, my the communities that I claim to be a part of, and my worldview. And on another note, and I'm only speaking from experience and what I know, this is not meant to be a generalization, but I feel like with older Asian people, they don't necessarily feel that racism in this country affects them because it's not incredibly direct. It kind of feels like that the racism is only between black and white Americans and we're just kind of on the sidelines. So I grew up not thinking about people being so outwardly racist toward Asians that look like me. There's this mentality of just kind of minding our own business and fending for ourselves, and so I think I carried that mentality with me, not realizing that it did affect me too. Racism does affect me, and for a lot of my life I felt kind of too yellow for the white kids, too white for the yellow kids. And I think growing up this way, I never realized the great responsibility that I hold representing minorities in these relationships that I have. Because in a lot of these relationships, I feel like I'm one of the few or the only friend of color in this person's life. So when I don't say anything, I'm co-signing this racist behavior and dialogue, and I don't want to do that. So if any of my white friends are watching, please know that I am encouraging questions or any comments, or if you want to chat, we can chat. I'm also not going to co-sign on any, I'm not going to sit back and okay and green light these inherently racist or ignorant dialogue or behavior. And I'm also making this video because I want you to know that there can be growth in people, and people can change their opinions as they grow older, and I don't think people should be crucified for who they were. Yeah, so here's to growth.